Hey guys, what's up? It's Simba here. Thank you so much for joining me on the Vision Board podcast.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome to the Vision Board podcast. Like I mentioned, I used to say I run TO, I walk TO, but this candidate, she is actually doing what I was saying years ago. Without further ado, Chloe Brown. Hi, welcome to the Vision Board podcast.
Thank you. There was an event called I Run TO that I used to attend in my youth.
Oh,
So yeah, it's really great to come full circle.
yeah, for people who don't know, you grew up in Vaughan. We know that you have policy analyst background, and we know that you're for the people. Can you just give us like a light introduction on who you are and what you're willing to do in the city? What do you do in the city currently?
So I currently work as a policy analyst at the Future Skills Center. It's a grant agency that is a partnership between the federal government and Toronto Metropolitan University.
Mm-hmm.
So over the past year and a half, I've been looking at projects from across Canada and different ways that they've been implementing the future of work across a variety of sectors. So some of those things are creating digital registration systems, digital assessments, digital wallets that
Mm-hmm.
carry your accreditations. And it's been really fascinating work because I specialize in workforce development. So understanding how businesses and people develop skills, business ideas to create opportunities for Canada, essentially. And yeah, that's why I'm running, because I see that there's a lot of projects that are going unfinished and underfunded, and it starts in the local government. And that's how I really see a scaling opportunity to a wider net of people.
Oh, that's beautifully said. I want to say that I believe I found you on TikTok. You went viral, okay? And if not TikTok, it was like a friend of a friend that shared one of your TikTok posts. And you do have the voice. Like if anybody ever told you to run, you should have ran years ago, before John got into office. But I really want to know, like, for us by us, what do you mean by that, Chloe Brown?
So when we think about the inequality in the system, it's really affecting working class people.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think about who's the working class, it's the people that punch in 8, 12, 16-hour days to deliver products and projects.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why this campaign is for us and it's by us, because I'm a worker before I am anything else. And
Nice.
when John Tory initially resigned, I had one candidate come to me and say like, "Oh, we must unite to save the left." And I had to laugh because I'm like, I don't even identify with that. I'm a worker. I have people that don't identify as being left wing or right wing. They just identify as a working person. And their voices deserve to be heard, because the rhetoric around politics isn't reflective of the reality of working class people. And that's where I'm trying to use my policy analyst background to break down the idea that what you're voting for is not just a personality, it's a governance style. The way
Exactly.
that you govern yourself, your community, that's reflected by the representative you choose. And if we don't take this seriously, then it's really hard to take like the city seriously, because governance is the foundation of self-discipline and building a path forward for yourself.
Exactly. And Chloe, so there are, like you said, taking it serious. I really want to mention Ben Bankas. He's also running alongside. He's identifying himself as Olivia Chow. I mean, when you're at this level and you're trying to be something that you're not, what do you feel like makes you different from every other candidate running for mayor?
I think the difference between me and the other candidates is that I have the most recent education in public administration and governance. I I recently got my degree because I was someone who was working in public services. I wasn't satisfied and I was told I could never make policy unless I had a degree. And that
Nice.
to me was an indictment against the public system, because there are hundreds of people that are informing the way that we design programs and services, but they'll never get to dictate what the rules are because they don't have degrees. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I really want other voters to realize that no other candidate has this type of educational background. None of them have worked frontline services. They've only been politicians chasing popularity, and that is not governance.
That's
Governance
true.
is serving the greatest amount of users, no matter how they feel about you. And that's why I'm challenging the entire establishment, because whether they're left wing or right wing politicians, none of them have just demonstrated a role in governance. They've
Right.
demonstrated that they can win popularity contests, but they have yet to demonstrate to me that they know how to govern, like, the diversity of opinions and expectations that are beholden to them.
That's right. So, Chloe, if you are chosen to be mayor, what is the first thing you're looking to do in office?
I think this is such a strange question because I'm planning to work. I
Okay.
don't, like, all the things have to be done. I'm planning to get 40,000 people working for residents.
Yeah.
And that's a variety of activities. So it's making sure that we're starting modular housing as a short-term solution for homelessness. It's making sure we're building apartments to create transitional solutions for people that want to build up their credit to eventually buy another form of housing. There's so many things that need to be done, but it's really about reorganizing the agencies, boards, and corporations of the city and bringing them back into city governance, because right now TTC board operates independently, the Toronto Police Board operates independently, everything is scattered. And that's why it feels like when you interact with public services, it feels like you're talking to 20 different people and getting 20 different sources of information, because it is fragmented. If we want to start having something clear and
Yeah.
cohesive,
Yeah.
you need to bring them all back in and make sure that they understand, from my perspective, that
Mm-hmm.
they're going back to the civic centers. So Scarborough Civic Center and North York, Etobicoke, because the
Exactly.
way, yeah, like the way I see us really moving forward is having that focus that there is an uptown Scarborough and Etobicoke that's being neglected. There's a
Exactly.
midtown, there's a downtown, and we can't just focus on what is east of Bathurst, west of Broadview.
Exactly. I do want to mention I've never voted in my life before. Maybe for one of the MPs,
Mhm.
when Jack Layton was around because my mom told me to, but uh I've never had a reason to vote. You know what I mean? Like there were so many situations where so many opportunities where it was in my face and they were like, hey, hey, vote, vote, vote. Here you can go here, there, there. But it was like, what am I voting for? Like, what are you guys offering me? I mean, you guys have been saying this for the past few years. I'm going to do this, I'm going to make this changes, but it seems like it's just like a positioning powerful power trip thing going on in office where you said what you're gonna say, you made promises that you didn't keep. So it's like that's my reason why I didn't vote. I want to know because a lot of people, Toronto has the potential to be the biggest city in the world, the number one city in the world, bigger than New York, but it's just something's missing here. And I don't know if it's the leadership, but I do want to know for the young voters, for the you're representing a lot of person of color like myself as well. Like but I want to know like if you voted before and like what was your experience like?
I vote because, like, it's a very easy investment of your time to make.
Yeah.
It's one day every 4 years. And because I'm in policy, it's a lot easier for me to
Mm-hmm.
partake of that process. But when I was younger, no, I didn't vote
Mm-hmm.
because being from a marginalized community, it doesn't matter what government is in place most of the time. Like the conditions remain the same, so it discourages you. But the more I started to understand governance and what that means as opposed to politics, the more invested I became, because yeah, politics is done everywhere. There's politics in every sector. sector. And what that usually means is that there is worship of a system that people do not question. So
Right.
it's like, yeah, like, oh, it's politics, it's politics. And it's just like, I'm not satisfied with that. So that's why I vote, because it has to be more than just worshiping old systems and just chalking it up to that. Like there has to be progress. And the only way that progress happens is participating in this game called politics and deciding who gets to change the governance style. And
Exactly.
that's really where a lot of young people need to really reimagine what politics is and see it as a dodgeball game. You want to dodge poverty, you want to dodge like social
Oh,
isolation,
wow.
like get up. You
Oh,
know,
wow.
you not voting is like sitting on the floor of an active dodgeball game. You're going to get hit in the face. It doesn't matter if you protest not wanting to play, you're sitting here.
Mm-hmm.
So you either get up and stop the ball and like fight for your life, or accept that you're going to continue to get hit because you can't be bothered with the interaction with like other people.
Exactly. Especially if you're a Canadian citizen like myself, I pay my taxes, I do everything right. I pay my rent. I take the transit. I do a lot of you know, work here. And I want to say I am invested in development of the city, but that's the problem where we don't really, as young people, it's kind of naive that we don't really want to know what's going on. We just want to deal with it after the aftermath, and that's not the way to go about it. Chloe Brown, I'm so happy you're voting. I have this paper here that says I don't know if you can see it.
I can't see it.
Can you
I
oh,
cannot. Oh, okay, I see it. Thank you.
yeah, so it says Chloe Brown for Toronto mayor, vote.
Yes.
I just want everyone to vote for you, honestly. Like you got my vote. I really appreciate you joining on the Vision Board podcast. But I want to know, like, final questions is like any advice you would give to someone who is trying to get into the politics, whether it's just, you know, any type of politics, any advice you'd have for those people.
I really try to make people reimagine their role in politics and what it means to be participant in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I chase my passions like it's the last bus of the night. And that's
Nice.
really what has kept me in this role trying to fix the system, because it's like I know what it's like to chase the last bus of the night. If I don't catch it, I'm stuck.
Mm. Wow.
You know, like I used to be a security guard. So it's
Mm.
just like I did a lot of night shifts. If I don't catch that red rocket, I'm stranded. I can't walk from North York to Etobicoke. So it's like you chase that bus until it gets to the next stop and you scream and you bang on the side of the bus. You do whatever you need to, because it is better to chase that bus with the chance of getting home than to allow yourself to be stuck in a place that, like, yes, you might be familiar with it, but it's dangerous.
Yes.
So yeah, it's really my advice to young people. Like, how badly do you want this? Because there are people, like, the squeaky wheel gets the attention. And that's really what politics is about. It's not really about the loudest voice in the room. It's about the most consistent voice in the room. And this is where I think a lot of people, oh, like, they give too much credit to the mayor's office,
Mm-hmm.
because the truth is the mayor has a staff of 40,000 people. It's one person. You can't check it in one person. You know what I mean? No one's telling you to call 40,000 people to make sure public services move forward. There's 25 counselors. You can't schedule a day to just call them and check in, go to the office. We prioritize vacation, we prioritize like fashion, all sorts of things. You can't prioritize who governs your pension, your union dues. And this is where we really need to reprioritize the type of mentality we want, because it really boils down to having an appetite for convenience. Junk
Mm.
food politics.
Mm-hmm.
It tastes sweet, it's savory, like it's really good when you first get it, but over time it
Mm.
makes you sick, because it's like the things worth having in this lifetime are not easy.
Right.
And that's where we really need to just rewire our brain and ask ourselves, like, do we want this undisciplined appetite of just reaching for junk food when we're hungry, or do we want to learn how to cook, how to grow our own food? Like, what do we actually want? Because it's really easy to just give your power over to an elected official. What's hard is being their check and balance. And that is what our job is. Like, the popularity race, once it's done, we need to check in with them to make sure that they're governing us with a sense of dignity, equality, and they're protecting our freedoms by creating responsibilities for us.
Yes.
So it's really a matter of young people trying to like look past being an individual and asking yourself, like, are you holding the person that holds your future accountable for what their role is? Like, we do it with our parents, our siblings, our lovers, our friends. Like, why aren't you holding this person who has put themselves forward to govern your tax dollars and the direction of the next 4 years of your life accountable? Because that's really what it is. Like, I can't tell you where I'll be in 4 years, but like, there's a guarantee that someone is sitting in public office. Use that to your advantage and like actually hold them responsible for how they're going to co-manage the next 4 years of your life.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chloe Brown, how can we take action, Chloe? How can we vote? How can we donate? Please let us know.
So check your voter status on my vote on toronto.ca/myvote
Okay.
and make sure that you're registered. Then I have a donate button on my website, chloebrown.ca. Check it out, read the policies. My budget is there, and it shows you how I'm reorganizing the city of Toronto so that it actually works for us. And this is where I really want people to realize that there is money out there. The city of Toronto is not broke, it's poorly governed. And unless we start to govern ourselves better, then we can't expect more from our elected officials. So, like, put an hour or two aside to just go through my website. Like, ask yourself what it is you want from the city, and
Yeah.
am I hitting those notes? So,
Amazing.
yeah, that's about it.
So, Chloe, is there a final soundtrack can I add for the outro? Do you have any suggestion?
Ooh, any song?
Any song that you're feeling?
Oh my gosh. A Letter to Asada by Common.
Letter to Asada by Common. All right, we will put that in there. Thank you so much, Chloe Brown. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank
Thank
you.
you and good luck. Take care.